Yo, what is going on? It is James, aka the Comic Raider, and we are back. Saga September continues. Boom. Saga Volume 2. This is going to cover issues 7 through 12. And let me tell you, a lot goes down in this one. Volume 1, kind of what explanation of the characters, introduction to all the characters that are going to be appearing. Volume number 2, we've got a ton of action. We've got lots of nudity and more character diving and some cool big reveals and some incredible moments. So, again, please feel free to join me in Saga September, reading this series, catching up to where it is currently. You will not regret it, and this is going to be full of spoilers. Okay, we're going to fully spoil volume number 2. We're going to review it. This is also not for children. This video, this series, not for children. Not that I'm telling you how to parent, okay? I'm a parent of 4 myself, but I'm just saying there's a lot of gore, there's a lot of nudity, there is full acts that go on, like showing you people in the act. So, not really for kids, nor is this video in and of itself, because although I'm going to try to skip past those parts, there's going to be some stuff that we're going to see as we flip through. So, just keep that in mind. Let's get into it. Volume number 2. So, where did we end off last issue? Last issue ended with them on the ship, and then they got some intruders on the ship, which then we learned at the very, very end are actually Marco's parents and Hazel's grandparents. So, let's go back, and we're going to take a rewind, and we're going to learn about Marco and where he grew up on the planet of Wreath. His parents kind of explaining to him that, look, there's battles that occurred here on this planet. Lots of people died. Our people were killed by those landfall people. And you are going to hate them and despise of them because they killed your people. This is like a flashback that's occurring. They're showing him the land, and he is visualizing the land and seeing that all this destruction. And so, yeah, then you get into that. And so then we're going to get into the introduction of, yes, this is my woman. We had a kid together. And then he's like, I have to go save Isabel. Isabel was not shot with a regular gun. Isabel was shot with a gun that teleports her off to some other place, some other planet. And so now Marco's going to have to go find her. Now, technically speaking, Marco is from Wreath, which is a moon of the planet Landfall. But people live on that moon. So yeah. Anyways, he's gonna go get Isabel back. So he jumps through this portal and is like, I'm going to get her. And then his mother is like, I'm gonna go get him. And so that leaves Alana and Hazel alone with what is now her father-in-law, who she has never met before. And so they have an interaction here. He's like, they're explaining their past and why they kind of, don't really care for each other's side. And then he says, is it normal? And she's like, leave me alone. And then, I just want to look at her. I want to hold my granddaughter. And then she is like, nah, I don't trust you. I'm going to wrap you up in vines from this treehouse that we have. And then Marco and his mother are looking for their kid. And then he's kind of having a conversation with his mom, explaining what's going on. And then he's like, how did you even get here? And she's like, well, you broke the sword that... and the sword kind of gave off your location, if you will. And so that's how we were able to find you. And by the way, this character called The Stalk came to our home to try and see where you were. But we obviously didn't tell him that we had heard from you because we hadn't heard from you. And so, yeah, then anyways, they're arguing about, his parents are not happy that he's with Alana, as you can imagine. And so anyways, but then they get attacked. What is that? Why did they just get attacked on this planet? What is going on? And this is the perfect example of when I say page-turning adventure. boom, what is that just attacked them? What the heck is going on? And Marco says, I promise you don't want to see this. Just keep your head down. And she's like, what? What is it? What is it? What could it possibly be? Let me see if I can check the page. Good Lord. It is that thing, that monstrosity. Do you see them down there? Do you see the scale of this monster, beast, nasty, disgusting thing? Man. But anyways. Then we've got, the Will is just sulking and, his loss, thinking about his lover. Then Alana and her father-in-law are having a good conversation. And then he's like, look, I can get out of here. I know a spell. And she's like, oh, I learned earlier in Volume 1 that you need a secret. You can't cast a spell without a secret. And yeah, I've told your son everything that he needs to know about me, so there is no secrets. And then he says, well, I have one. I have less than a month to live. And then he explains to her that, first he puts her ass to sleep because she's very, she's protected. So he puts her to sleep so that he can hold his beautiful granddaughter. And so let's get to the next issue. Next issue is a recap. It is going to recap Alana. This is how they met. Maybe you've been wondering this whole time, how did these two get together in the first place if this is some Romeo and Juliet type stuff? Again, I'm distracted because football is on, okay? I'm sorry. He was a prisoner on landfall. She was the prison guard. And they don't even speak the language together. Oh, how do they speak languages? And now is because of I think it was a ring. Marco has like a ring, and it allows him to be able. It's the spell that's on the ring, if you will, allows him to be able to translate and talk to all these different people. So, anyways, it was not love at first sight. Again, she is a prison guard. He is not supposed to talk. So now, Alana wakes up, and her and her father-in-law have a really good moment back and forth as they're talking, and he's kind of like, look. Why don't you just chill and relax? Like, I got this. I can take care of the baby. Stop tripping. And now you have a great fight. Marco and his mother are fighting the monstrosity again. And Marco is like, look, don't just try and kill the thing. I don't want to just kill things. Let's find out what is wrong with this thing. Marco has a really good moment where he has to put his foot down or lightning down and tell his mom, stop talking shit about my woman. And let's see, let's fast forward now. Whoa, what are these brand new clothes for Alana? Well, her father-in-law is a weaver and can make armor, and he made her armor, and he's gonna make the baby armor, and he's gonna do all this stuff. And she's like, oh wow, you're actually a really great person. But then he's about to have a heart attack, and she's like, okay, let's discuss this. So then you get into the whole, like, look, this is what's going on. I'm dying. I'm going to die soon. I only have a little bit of time left, and that's okay. No, I haven't told my wife. No, I haven't told my son. No, I haven't told anybody. I'm just trying to enjoy all the time that I have left. And that's what he wants to do. So let's fast forward. They're talking to the creature, and the creature's like, don't worry, you're never gonna get out of here before the birth. And then they're like, what are you talking about? What birth? And he's like, this actually isn't a planet, this is an egg. Like, this planet is about to give birth. And so then let's fast forward to, this is a person on a beach chilling. They are they are like the call center for the freelancers. And then this person is like, look, I need to know where the will is. And he's like, I don't give out information. And she's like, that's too damn bad because I'm here. My name is Gwendolyn. Who is Gwendolyn? Gwendolyn is the woman mentioned in Volume 1 that is also talked about in here. This is the woman that Marco was engaged to, supposed to marry, all that good stuff. His ex. And so, yeah. Oh, now, ex drama. let's get back to, let's check up on the Will, who is still trying to get Slave Girl off of this planet. And then, oh my goodness, who is that? Is that the Stalk? I thought she was dead. That's crazy. And so the Stalk is here after she pops the heads of the two people. Mama Cellulite. Mama Cellulite is running this planet right now. And then he's like, and then she decides to cut off Mama Cellulite's head. And then he's like, oh my god, my lover, my ex, I love her, she's back. Here's Slave Girl. Whoa, what the hell is up with Slave Girl? Anyways, now, that is, oh yeah, duh, I even forgot. That was all a dream. That's why she, went crazy like that. That was a dream. That was not real. He is, still sulking on the planet with Lion Cat, and then he finds Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn found him. Alright, had to make a little edit. Let's get back to business. Gwendolyn is with the Will. They are talking. They are catching up. They are realizing what is going on. He's like, look, I am not going to track down Marco and Alana until I get the slave girl off the planet, but they want way too much money, and I cannot do that. You got a really cool moment where Lion Cat has to say that the Will is lying and call him out, which is why he's like kind of sad about it. Very funny moment. Yeah, Lion Cat is just incredible. You're going to love Lion Cat through this series as you read it. Gwendolyn's like, alright, look, let's get to this damn planet. Let's get this damn slave girl so that we can go after Marco and Alana. And they exchange a drop-off, and then they're like, okay, we're going to go get her. We'll be fine. And then these people are like, oh, don't worry. We knew that this was all a trap. We knew that the Will was involved. And he's like, oh, that's a nice little sword you have there. And he says, it's not a sword. It's a lance. And then you get your first reveal of what his weapon is, the Freelancer's weapon. And as you can see, it's like this very long lance that goes through, and boom. And then you got Lion Cat just literally eating someone's freaking face off. Insane. The Will going after this dude, attacking him. This weird looking anteater looking guy is choking the Will. And then Gwendolyn gets involved, and then she's like trying to learn how to use the lance. Lion Cat is eating someone's face off still, and then she uses the lance with her power, and they end up getting out of there and surviving. Again, great action, love it. Now, Slave Girl is now with the Will, and they're going to figure out what the heck they're going to do with her. And then they learn that she actually kind of has the ability to track these rings that Gwen... The ring that I was saying that is used as a translator belongs to Gwen. So Gwen knows that Marco's around because he's using her ring. And then the girl is like, oh, I can actually track that stuff. Like, I have this feeling that it's near. And it is that way. That is the end of Chapter 9. Chapter 10 now. We get back into the flashbacks. Alana and Marco have been spending time together. She is reading the book to him. And then he's like, oh, yeah, you know, I'm enjoying this time that we've spent together, but I'm actually getting shipped off to a new planet. And then she's like, okay, but no one ever comes back from that planet. You're going to die. You're going to die on that planet that you're being transferred to. And then they realize that they kind of like each other, and so they share a little smoochy smooch. Did she already... Yeah. So basically, she's trying to free him. She's like, here, cut off your chain. Why don't you go escape? That way you don't die. Now let's get to... Oh, man, the Saints just scored. Who scored? Is that Jawan Johnson, the tight end? I have him on my bench. Wonderful. All right, so, anyways, now Marco and his mother are still trying to find Isabel, and instead they find this creature, this upside-down head creature who is like a group of witches who are, like, preparing for the birth of this planet, and then you're like, oh my god, that's a giant... huge gorilla. What the hell is that big ass gorilla? That's actually Isabel projecting a projection. But anyways, so now they have Isabel. They're reunited with Isabel, and yeah. And then a really cool moment where the umbilical cord falls off, and it's just, this is the type of great emotional fun that occurs in this story. And you know, they're talking about parenting and blah 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 blah. Now, here we go. Now everybody's back on the ship. Everything is wonderful. That's awesome. Oh, what's that alarm going off? Oh man, that means that there is another ship in our vicinity that might be attacking us. Oh, and the planet is giving birth after all. Here is the egg hatching and the giant baby looking planet. Who knows what the heck that is, but that thing is exploding. We gotta get up out of here. Meanwhile, the Will and Gwendolyn and Slave Girl have. Also, I'm not supposed to call her Slave Girl. I know that he tries to get her a name. I think that doesn't happen until Volume 3. We're just going to call her the Girl from now on. The Girl. And so now you have a battle between the two of them, right? The Will and Gwendolyn have found. Whatchamacallit. So yeah. This is them all fighting, but meanwhile there's this planet that's being born, and he recognizes the planet. He called it oh man, what did he say it was? I forgot. Anyways, point is, the Will is like, oh hell no. Yeah. Then the ship that they're on explodes on accident. Oh, Marco Alana drove their ship into the Will's ship, and that's what happened there. And Titans just scored. That's cool. Anyways, okay. Sorry. So their ship is destroyed. They're all floating out in the middle of space. That's crazy. The next issue 11 starts with Marco and Alana flashback to them making Hazel. Yes, you heard me correctly. Them making Hazel. Very very graphic, very detailed. Yeah. So anyways, and then they're arguing about like having this child. Meanwhile, let's go back to current time where they are trying to escape and fight. And So anyways, yeah, the Will is now going and trying to rescue everyone. Meanwhile, everyone on the ship is arguing. Yeah, they're all just trying to escape and survive at this point. And Marco burns off all their armor because that's what's going to give them the ship the boost that they need to get the heck up out of there. And then they're like, oh, well, if we do that boost, then we're going to die because the ship is going to explode. But then Marco's dad is like, look, I am a weaver. I can protect us. And he goes, I am group mode, and just protects the place. Protects the ship as they take off. But in doing so, he kind of uses up a lot of his strength. And so he kind of falls to his knees, and you're like, what? What's going on? And then Alana's like, Bar? That's his name. Bar, what's going on? Bar, are you okay? And the Will is arguing with Gwendolyn, and they're like, look, I saw a rocket ship out there. We should be fine. And then, spoiler alert, Bar's dead. Bar had a heart attack. He died. He used all his strength to protect his family and get them safely out of harm's way. But he's dead. And it's very, very sad. Very, very sad. And so then you get a little flashback of Marco as a kid with his dad. Fast forward to this, and yeah, so now they are, yeah, everyone's just very sad. Now we are on issue number 11. You have some awesome moments here. This is a battle that is going on. You have this rat who's like a medic, and he's like, don't worry, Prince Robot, I'm gonna save you. Don't worry, I've got you. And then there's this gas explosion, and they're like, get your masks on now, get them on now. And Prince Robot is like, medic, get your mask on. And then the poor medic is like, they didn't give me a mask. And then, good lord, goodbye, medic. So sad. Yeah, that was like a flashback that Prince Robot was having. They're still like, yo, Prince Robot, why the hell haven't you found them yet? And he's like, oh, don't worry, I just landed on this planet, and I am going to go find the author. And here are these two characters. Who are those two characters? Are they going to be important later? Well, we'll find out. But anyways, they're like, oh, he's over in the lighthouse. And so then he goes to meet the author, Mr. Heist. And he's like, look, I read your book. And Mr. Heist thinks that he's going to be a fan, but he's like, he says, I am looking for this woman from Wreath. I'm looking for a man from Wreath. He may be accompanied by a woman from Landfall. And he's like, how the heck would that happen? And he says, well, I don't know, maybe because she read your damn book, dude, and got the idea. And so then they start, and he says, while I may disagree with the message, I still appreciate that this was delivered in a highly sophisticated manner. And he's like, what message about the book? What are you talking about? And he says, you're being coy. This work is obviously a thinly veiled treatise on radical pacifism, a compelling, if not entirely persuasive call to inaction. And he's like, look, dude, I just wrote that book for the paycheck. I appreciate that you're getting all deep into this story, but it's not about all that. And then he's like, oh, what's this picture of? Oh, that's my son. He served in the war, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. Da, 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 da. And he's like, well, yeah, time flies. And he's like, hey, your son, he was a soldier. What battle did you say he died in? And he says, I didn't. And he says, go on. And now they have an argument because he's like, wow, your son committed suicide? Are you serious? I shouldn't have said that word. I think you're not supposed to say that word here on YouTube. He unalived himself. I'm sorry. And he's like, wow, what a coward. Your son is a coward. And then he's like, you know what? You're not getting that autograph after all. Now he points his gun at Prince Robot, and Prince Robot decides, I'm going to shoot him also. And so he shoots him in the leg, and he's like, what the hell? And, dun, dun, dun. And then Prince Robot is like, look, dude, you know what? Why don't you kill me? You know, if you stab me right here in the neck, I have this circuit that'll take me out. And, dun, 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 dun. And then they have a conversation about unaliving yourself and how common it is for combat vets to do so. And, yeah, so anyways, they're just having this very back and forth. And he says, well, you know what? If they haven't came to visit you yet, I am still convinced that they will. So I'm just going to sit here, and we're just going to read your book while I wait for them. Because if they're not here now, they will be. So I might as well just sit here. We're going to read, and eventually we're going to find them. And then what they learn is, well, they are there. They are hiding in like a Inglorious Bastards underneath the basement kind of. Or no, actually they're upstairs. But anyways, yeah, they are hiding. They are there. They are hiding inside. And Prince Robot is also inside right now. So what is going to happen? Are they going to come in contact with Prince Robot? Are they going to battle it out with Prince Robot? Or is Prince Robot just going to read that whole story to the author? What is going to happen? Stay tuned for Volume 3 to find out. That is Saga, Volume 2. Did I mention that I love this series? Again, Saga September will continue. We will go to Volume number 3 soon. Let me know your thoughts. Please join in on Saga September. Would love to, make that a thing. I know it is already a thing. I'm not the first to think of this. I'm just saying, let's all get into Saga for September, okay? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you thought about it, what you think of Volume 2. Let's read Volume 3. Let's review Volume 3. In the meantime, Comic Raider is out. Take care. Appreciate all the love and support, baby. Deuces.